Have you ever woke up in the middle of a dream and the dream was so interesting that you wanted to go back to sleep to see the end of it? If so, what was the dream? This is a great question, but one that I could only answer if you were to ask me within the first 30 seconds after I wake up. Watch this video until the end for good luck. It's a recurring dream, several years, on and off, that I look forward to every time it happens. I'm behind a large, secluded waterfall with a mermaid. It feels very real, but I always wake up prematurely. Afterwards, the dream never continues where we left off, when I finally fall back asleep. All the time. Most recently I was kissing someone for the first time in my dream. I've been married for over 20 years, so that rush of a first kiss is long behind me. It was nice to feel the butterflies again, and I wanted to get back in that dream for more kissing. My classmates and me were running, and I looked behind me and saw freaking Usain Bolt following us with a fucking shotgun. We ran through a field and through our school and past some characters from my favorite TV show. I remember my PE teacher opened a gate and only let one of my classmates pass through. It was the fastest classmate BTW, and I ran past him thinking that always hated me. I woke up when Usain Bolt catched up to us. I really wanted to find out if he was gonna kill us or something. I have a weird imagination. When I was younger I would always have a recurring dream where I was in my house and demons were following me around. Every time, they would be in a different form. I was so terrified of that dream, and I always wanted to figure out how it ended, but I always woke up at the scary parts. The only way I found to stop the dreams was to finish the story in my head, and once I wrote it down I never got the dreams again. Might get buried, but, I think I was dreaming about saying yes instead of rejecting this boy who I really liked. I had so much fun in the dream as it felt like an eternity. In the dream, I can't remember exactly what happened, and dreams are boring to listen to anyways, so I'll spare you the details. When I woke up I found myself crying. I rejected him because I didn't know if I was lesbian or asexual etc. But I regretted everything and wanted to tell him, but he's dating his ex-girlfriend now. I don't know what to do, and I don't want to split them up. The dream felt surreal too, like a lucid dream, which I think it was. Iron Man dream. I was Tony Stark exhibiting a new flying armor with powers and everything. It had magnetic boots and a lightsaber. It doubled as a flying dream too. Then my mom called me and woke me up to remind me of our brunch date, and I had to be nice to her. Best dream I ever had. Have you ever had a dream that you would, to, that, you, that, over the, if, that, you would, you could, that, if, you, that, where, when, you, so, you wanted to, in the, so, you could do anything? Last night, I had a dream that I was part of a group of explorers that was in the midst of fighting off a group of yetis in the jungle. My dreams do not make sense. After the fight, the group and I were lounging in a hospital room, and I was talking with a nurse. We were talking about life, weird things, sexual exploits, and regrets. I remember the nurse saying, "Hug me." I hugged her and felt happy. Then my cat jumped on me, clawing my chest and me waking up at 7 AM. Damn it, I was happy. Damn you, cat. Snoop Dogg saving me from the clutches of an evil fairy trying to trap me in her garden. Was it a weed garden? Yes, I think it was. I had just received a check for $80,000, and I woke up, started to check my bank account, before realizing it was a dream. It was a shitty start to my day. I have very random dreams actually. One time, when I was in middle school, I woke up in the middle of this weird dream with race cars and libraries, and I was friends with Taylor Swift, I think, who I met in the library. I think she was pregnant. Me and some random people raced around what I think was my middle school campus. Very interesting, don't you think? A couple of days back, I had a dream in which I was aware that I was dreaming. But it was a dream within a dream. So fucking fascinating it was. It took me a little time to gain control on the actual reality. My brain circuitry felt a little twitched. This has recently started to happen to me. From what I can remember, It was about me and a real life YouTube trio called I Just Want to Be Cool. We were in my grandparents' house trying to uncover some conspiracy. After some very intense searching and odd clues that would fit the YouTube trio's comedy style, one of them turned out to be a part of the conspiracy, and he also tried to mislead us or something. Then he overdramatically jumped over a very tall wall to escape, and then I woke up. I was practically forcing me to sleep because it was really getting good. I've had some other dreams, but once they get good I always wake up and miss the ending. I was dreaming that I was becoming a werewolf. I think that was at the start of the dream though. I was at my house in my room, I guess, and then suddenly I started transforming. The only thing I remember from the transformation is that my werewolf ears were growing, and suddenly I woke up. Wish I could go back to it to see how much I could transform. I'm a novelist. Occasionally I'll dream about my characters. In those moments, I'm desperate to return to the dream and see them in real life. Was in a native village of some ancient tribe forgotten by humanity. All the villagers were sad and crying. I was with them and welcome as an outsider, but they did not know me as their own. A girl was with me. We were in love. She was so sad. I have to go back now. I knew in my dream that she didn't belong here, that she had to go back or her soul would die. She would be immortal there. I said I knew, and we kissed hard and sad. The villagers began to chant, and the fire in their midst grew stronger and turned blue. The girl unclasped from me slowly and stepped into the flames and disappeared. I woke up in tears, determined to go back to sleep. When I did, she came back, gave up her immortality to be with me, and the villagers rejoiced. Woke up shortly after and remained in a haze for weeks. My dreams are pretty fantastic, so I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but I put some that stuck out. Flying on a futuristic scooter around an island with a mountain at the center on a very overcast day. I get the impression it was a dystopian society, but I don't remember more than the feeling of freedom. Another dystopian society, also futuristic. I was originally a poor kid, learned to fight, formed a team to fight the BBEG. We lost some members on various missions, really depressing, but I'll never forget that feeling of camaraderie, the insanely close bond we had from facing death together on the reg. The only mission I remember was infiltrating futuristic flying ships, think kind of like Avengers, but a fleet of them, to try and take them out before they got to one of our cities. We were planting detonators. I know we lost a teammate then. I've always wondered if we won our fight. Flying over a backyard garden and greenhouse in an older English city, also overcast. I have the sense that it was cold out, but I don't actually remember feeling cold. It was very peaceful, just floating above everything. A few Doctor Who adventures thrown in. Those are always a thrill from beginning to end. I hate waking up from those. Did that this morning. It was a crazy purge-like scenario where there were a bunch of people in an auditorium, and over time small groups would disappear. Those still in the auditorium were either in flight or fight mode against each other. Pure survival mode, trying to scavenge anything useful from the deputed's possessions. Trippy shit. Multiple times. It's always seeing my dad that was killed 2 years ago. The worst part is that in the dream I'll come to the realization that he's dead and it can't be real, and that's when the panic sets in, because I know I'm waking up. I just want to keep having the dream so I can hear his voice again. This actually happened to me last night. I had a dream about my friend's ex, whom he now hates. I dreamed that we were walking through a hotel lobby and man asked me to be a fill-in judge for a drumming competition. I told him I didn't know anything about drumming, but he still wanted me to be a judge. So I'm sitting there judging the drummers and his ex-GF kept rubbing my arm and softly kissing my cheeks. I remember thinking, when this is over I'm so getting laid. I woke up shortly afterwards. I texted my friend first thing this morning and we both found it amusing. I wish the dream world had continued. She was a hot piece of ace. This is gonna be so dumb. I had a dream that I was on vacation and this girl found me and told me she was convinced she could make me fall in love with her in one day. We went off on crazy explorations all over the place, from jumping on buildings, running from cops, had lunch on top of a mountain. Then I woke up. I wanted to finish that dream, damn it. I saw my high school sweetheart again. Hugged her so many times in that dream and told her how much I'd missed her. I woke up in the middle of a conversation and realized she'd been dead for almost 4 years. It was rough. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Let us know your thoughts on this topic. See you soon.